People who sell music lessons, golf lessons, fitness coaching, etc. regularly post on social media in order to gain attention for their services to generate revenue. We know that a lot of entrepreneurs in the business space are hesitant to create content in order to promote their services. Accountants, marketers, investors, etc. Boys, why do you think that is?
One of the main things that we should point out before we dive into why it is all of those guys that you mentioned that are posting on social media are low ticket offers. So a music lesson, a golf lesson, maybe it's going to be 30 quid, 50 quid, whatever it is. Accountants, investors, marketing agencies, they're going to be high tickets, so they're going to be a few £1,000s. Is there anything in that where people think that you can only sell low ticket things through social media? I don't know, but there's a pattern in those two different industries.
Do you think that they don't think you can sell those things over social media? Or is there an awkwardness there where it's like, right, if you're selling a golf lesson for 50 quid or a driving lesson for 50 quid or whatever it is, people are aware that that's the going rate publicly. So like people don't have that kind of awkwardness publicly letting people know, look, I'm doing these golf lessons, they're £50 per lesson. I'm doing driving lessons, they're £50 a lesson. Where it's like, let's say you do accounting services and your accounting services are 3, 4, 5,000 for that year. Is it that kind of thing where people are like, right, my thing's so expensive, so I don't really want to put it out there?
It probably seems more feasible that you could sell something that's less than £100 on social media, because at the end of the day, social media was designed to connect with your friends. So even though it's been around for 20 years, there is still kind of that reputation where people think it's just a platform for entertainment rather than a platform for business. That ideology has kind of been broken in those low ticket things, because how hard can it be to get someone to give you 50 quid? But it's just not broken through to the high ticket things yet.
You might even be thinking family and friends might even pay you 50 quid for golf lessons, whereas like your family and friends might not need an accountant tomorrow.
It takes a lot less trust to buy from someone who's giving away a golf lesson for 50 quid rather than an accountant who's making you pay £5,000.
On that topic of trust, and me and Duffs, we were speaking to our accountants the other day about content for them. And one thing that I said to them was, on their website, it looks the exact same as every other accountant. We recommended adding a VSL, and the reason for that was trust. Every accountant can do a tax return, right? But if I watch a 10-minute video of you on your website, I'm going to trust you so much more because I actually know you as a person rather than just looking at your website. I think that applies to content as well, because traditionally back in the day, you would have just walked down the street, saw the sign that said accountants and trusted them and went with them. Not really a thing that people do anymore. They're going to be looking up online, accountants near me, accountants in Northern Ireland, wherever you're based. If you then find someone, you're going to look them up. You're going to look at their Google reviews. You're going to look at their website. You're going to look at their socials. If you find someone's account that hasn't posted in 3 years versus someone who's uploading 3 times a week, giving you tax advice or anything related to accountancy, who are you going to trust more?
Professional services need to learn from that, because let's say you're not posting enough about your guitar lessons and someone else signs someone for a few guitar lessons. That's not the end of the world. If you're a big time accountant and you're not posting content on social media, first of all, your competitors are posting regular content so that like the potential customers are seeing them regularly. People buy from people, so people are going to buy from these people that are seeing regularly. If you're not putting that content out there, you're actually losing £1,000, $1,000 deals here. It's not little £50 guitar lessons that you're losing out on. So as in like, how do professional service providers learn from that so that they're constantly top of mind whenever people are ready to buy accounting services?
So on that note then, Alex, of what they can learn from these everyday businesses, you've obviously worked with PTs and gym owners and barbers and like the day-to-day kind of businesses.
Yeah, lower ticket offers.
How do you see that type of content translate into high ticket offers? Would you recommend they make the same types of content where it's like kind of skits or maybe little tips and advice, or would you say it should be more professional because naturally it's a profession?
I would say more top of funnel content does have to be made. So yeah, you touched on skits there. So skits are a great way to bring somebody into your page, but whenever you're trying to sell to them, probably not the best. So trying to have like, a diverse, like creative strategy, so you're covering lots of different formats, is something good there. But yeah, the benefits, talking just like building brand awareness. We're obviously all Northern Ireland, so we know people from Northern Ireland, and we know people that post on social media in Northern Ireland. Like word gets around here. It'd be the same if you're in Sydney or if you're in, I don't know, Bali or something. Word gets around. So like building brand awareness, not just online, but in your own community, is a real benefit of posting on social media.
And how do you actually find that that works for these businesses? As in, like, I want to get a comparison of say like your local barber, say your local gym owner, as in like, how beneficial is it for these guys that are putting out this local based content and driving up interest in their services within their local area, as opposed to the guys not doing that? As in, like, are people literally going on TikTok and going on Instagram and deciding there who their barber is, deciding there where I'm going to go to the gym because I like the guy and the content he's making?
Well, the thing with people's algorithms is like, you constantly see people around you, and we constantly see people here in Ireland, like it's the same with everywhere in the world. If someone has seen you before, and let's say they come into your barbershop, they're probably gonna get a haircut with you than some randomer down the road they've never seen before. So as I said, building brand awareness, and I would call it like the 95-5 rule. 5 people might be like ready to buy from you. 5 people might be ready to sign up to your coaching. They'll buy from you because they've seen you on social media and they've seen you in person. Whereas there's like the 95% who haven't seen you before, don't know you, don't trust you, and then over time may become to trust you and then learn about you and your brand and your offer and your business.
It's important because like this is so relevant to accountants, lawyers, financial advisors, these professional service kind of guys, because like, look, they might sign clients from this internationally or nationally or whatever it is, but look, by creating content, you might sign clients that are 10, 15 minutes away that just, maybe they knew of you, but they didn't know enough about your services in order to become a buyer. They just knew, oh, there's an accountant's down the street 15 minutes away. But then you start putting out content literally within the first 90 days, people might start signing with you as clients because like they already knew of you. It's just right, whoa, these guys actually know a lot more than I thought they did. Let's check this out.
There's a problem I see though sometimes where there's too top of funnel content where there's like random skits and you could be you think you're promoting your gym, but nobody knows that you're promoting your gym, if you know what I mean. So there's like these like top of funnel skits that like could do like thousands of views but doesn't actually sign any clients whatsoever.
On the topic of skits, Alex, so obviously we've been speaking about professional businesses, the likes of accountants, lawyers, mortgage advisors, these kind of professional industries. Do you think the fact that it's being posted on YouTube, which has a reputation for kind of being unprofessional, and if you ever see anyone on the TV that's a YouTuber, all the comments are filled with, oh, they're not a real celebrity or anything along those lines. Do you think that plays a part in why these guys aren't uploading content because they think it's unprofessional?
Like whenever I think of YouTube, I think Logan Paul, KSI, Mr. Beast. So like I don't think local business owner.
But then you're seeing the evolution of that, right? Because like you see Hormozi's content recently where he's getting all these small to medium sized business owners in a room and giving them coaching one-to-one directly there. And it's like, look, I run a construction company, it's doing $1 million a year. I run this business, it's doing 3 million a year. I run this business, it's 5 million a year. And he's constantly reinforcing the fact that, look, create content, get the name out there, start selling to way more people.
That's actually probably one of the biggest benefits of content. Like we've said a few times, back in the day, you would have just walked down the road, saw a sign for an accountant and went there. By posting content, you exponentially increase your TAM. Like your total addressable market goes through the roof because it goes from people that live in your town or your city or your village to anyone online. So let's say you're a lawyer in the US and you have a video on how to register an LLC in the US. Anyone that goes onto YouTube and searches for that exact phrase can find you. It's not only people in your city, it's anyone looking for that online.
Which could be revolutionary, right? If you've just spent the last 20 years only selling in your locality.
Yeah, I think there's an interesting point that content can let you go global with your market.
Right, so I think it's fair to say we've all decided that every business should be uploading content, but is there any business that we think content wouldn't work for, any industry that we don't think it would work for?
Is there any business in the world looking to sign clients or sell product that would be harmed from marketing? I suppose the only answer to that is a specific niche or industry. No, I think everyone would benefit from posting more content and doing more marketing, right? I suppose it just comes down to like, if you create the wrong kind of content or if you create terrible content, that might negatively affect your brand and therefore harm your potential to either sell product or sign clients, right?
I think that's a fair approach, because a random example off the top of my head, let's say you run a company that runs shipping lanes internationally. So you have massive cargo ships transporting goods from the US to Asia. you could upload videos on YouTube about the best way to export your products from the US to Asia. And the best way is by shipping. By the way, we're a logistics company. Here's our offers. Now, your videos might get 50 views, but that's 50 people of your ICP. Just because your market is smaller doesn't mean content won't work.
I know of ecom guys in particular, right? Because like there's ecom guys make a lot of fucking money. The idea of them starting a coaching program sometimes doesn't make sense because they're like, right, why would I start this high ticket coaching program for $3,000, $4,000, $6,000 and teach people how to do this whenever I can just sell my own product and do 2 million in revenue this month, right? So like there's a lot of ecom content creators out there that create content not looking to tap into any top of funnel audience whatsoever. They're literally just looking to build their network, right? They're looking to find other high level operators in the ecom space that are doing, say, 20 million a year, 50 million a year, so they can learn and work with them. Like that is it. They're not looking for an audience.
Right, so if there's no business that content isn't going to work for, does the type of content you're making vary by business? So what sort of content should businesses be making then, and kind of how many videos should they be uploading on, say, a weekly or a monthly basis?
In terms of short form, obviously very different to YouTube. I would say content, having a variety of content is really important so people aren't just seeing the same thing. A lot of things you can do. You can trend jack. So trend jacking is when you find a trend, I don't know, let's not make people TikTok dance, but it's an example, or all these different viral formats we see. The main one I think is just addressing pain points, and just really pushing in on them. So in terms of quantity, I would say posting multiple times a week is just going to be the best bet. So like as much as you can do. If you're doing it by yourself and you don't have a team with you, it's a bit tougher, so that's the more like local guys. Whereas if you have a team, like you're looking to be pushing anywhere between 3, 5, 7, if not more videos a week out.
And just to interrupt and kind of change the topic slightly, most of these guys watching this probably will have a team. Like accountants are probably very unlikely to just be a one-man band.
They've probably got a marketing person, right?
Yeah, so would you have an in-house marketing guy? Would you get the intern to make your TikToks, or what would you recommend?
The thing with hiring either like a junior social media manager or getting the intern to make some TikToks is that there's no real value, so it's not really building any trust. An outside guy who did research on your business and really deep dived your offer and your business would know more in a week than a guy that like has worked there for a little while.
Right, so see, in terms of like how much content do they need to create, right? We're obviously just talking about enough to keep people aware that they exist. And obviously, if we're talking about what content they need to create, we really just need to focus on who the ICP is, right? So as in like, if you know your customers are 30-year-old males, make the content consumable for 30-year-old males. If your content's designed to sell a product to a 60-year-old woman, make sure that that content looks like something a 60-year-old woman would watch. Don't have something crazy that does not fit the ICP whatsoever in terms of the actual style of the content.